Yeah. How about this one? What's wrong with this one then? Yeah, there we go. Okay. What's up, Dwayne? We're not ready to start. We have 4 minutes, but you should be seeing and hearing me clearly by now. What do you think? Let's get the mic a little closer to the lips there. Ah, close mic. Announcer sounding. I'm going to use my radio voice. Yes, this is my radio voice. Are you there? Type something if you can hear me. Okay. Let's see. I'm not going to need that window, so we'll put that away. And how about let's try this. There's 2 of me in the chat room. That's quite a trick, isn't it? Hello, Bob. So, can you hear me now? I know I sound like a Sprint commercial, but if all is working properly, I should sound kind of announcer-like. And my level should be sufficient at worst. Yes! Hello, Leslie. Leslie is here. Let's type a hi to her or him. I don't know. Leslie could be either. Hi, Leslie. Oh, this is so much fun. This is my first webinar ever. I tried last week. Thank you for coming, Root Boy. We had technical problems, and it just didn't happen. So, it's so awesome to be here and be able to actually do this webinar this week. I'm so tickled. All right. That's right. Leslie could go either way. I don't like to make assumptions because you know what happens to people who make assumptions. All right, we'll start in a minute or two, but let me show you a couple cool things before. Check this out. Ready? Who is that guy? Well, hold on. Let's go to full screen here. You want to like look at me? Yeah, there we go. We'll go back to the slides at 5 after. We'll give people a chance to get here. But in the meantime, check this out. It's just like real broadcasting. From LeVitus Studios and deep in the heart of the Texas Hill Country, it is Working Smarter for Mac Users, the 1-hour workshop. You like that? Check this out. I can also do cool stuff like, well, you'll see some of this stuff later, but we also have the cover of the book. Isn't that cool? I have just all this cool like webinar stuff going on here. So, let's see. What else do we do while we wait for people to show up? Well, I said I would start at noon. If I don't start pretty soon, we won't get it done in an hour. So I'm going to start the presentation now. Are you all ready? If you're ready, type ready, because that's how I know you're still there. All right, here we go. We are going to, here we go. All right. I made myself go away. I'm going to come back up in the corner there. Yeah. And let's start the slides. Here we go. So welcome to the Save Hours by Working Smarter 1 hour workshop with me, Bob Dr. Mac LeVitus. Thank you for coming. Let me click and start the theme music. That should start the theme music, right? Are you hearing theme music? I have everything muted, so I'm not sure. No? All right. There we go. Anyway, live from, no, there you go. Live from LeVitus Studios in the beautiful Texas Hill Country. Please allow me to introduce myself. My name is Bob Dr. Mac LeVitus, and I am a writer, a freelance writer. I've been a columnist for the Houston Chronicle since 1996, and I've written for the Mac Observer about the same, maybe a little longer, a little less long, I don't know, around the same time. I was director of evangelism for Power Computing Corporation, if you remember them. They made Mac clones. I worked for Motorola as an evangelist for a while, and I've written over 80 books like these. Yeah, and that's kind of an old graphic, so there's even more than that. I've written or co-written, let's say. Okay, so, and this is my current thing. This is Working Smarter for Mac Users. This is my new book, my new website, my new online course, my new Facebook group. It's everything for me. The thing is, I've been writing books for other people my whole life, and I've always dreamed of being an entrepreneur and running my own publishing business, and selling directly to the people that read or take the course, and having a relationship, a direct relationship with people that read and watch my things, and with big time book publishing and the Amazon channel and things like that, you don't get that opportunity very much. So I really have always wanted, it's been about 20 years I've been saying I'm going to do an ebook. I'm going to self-publish an ebook, and I finally did this year. It's called Working Smarter for Mac Users, and the reason it's that and not iPhone for smart people or something else is because about, I guess, 20 years ago, I found out that I have ADHD or ADD. And so, I'm sorry you didn't get music, by the way. It's probably better because it was stuff that I recorded. Okay, so anyway, I found out I have this ADD thing, and all of a sudden everything made sense. The reason it was so hard for me to finish a full day of work in 17 or 18-hour days. The reason I could be led down the rabbit hole so easily and spend so much time doing non-productive things and not knowing why. I just had no clue about anything. I just knew that it was impossibly hard for me to do everything I needed to do, and I felt like a hamster on a treadmill. So I found out I had this ADHD, and I started learning about what people with ADHD do to get along. And I found out that there wasn't at the time very much about using your Mac and having ADD or having attention issues, let's say, or focus issues, things that you don't have to have ADD to have these things. But there wasn't much about how to like, if you sit in front of your computer, how do you do these things? And so that is really what Working Smarter is about. So what is exactly Working Smarter? Well, it's a book, it's an online course, it's a website, it's even got its own mission statement. Ready? That's the website, by the way. And here comes Mission statement. My mission is to teach other Mac users how to use your Mac better, faster, and more elegantly, how to do more work in less time so you have more time for the things you love, and how to banish procrastination forever. Okay? That's what I'm all about, and it's like having my own business now and being a solo entrepreneur, a solopreneur. It's the best thing in the world for me, because if you read the introduction of the book, you'll learn I went to school to become a marketing guy. I went to school so I could go work for an ad agency, and that's what I thought I would do my whole life. And then I after about 6 or 7 years, I realized that I hated working at an advertising agency, and I did not want to spend the rest of my life, working those insane hours, doing that kind of thankless work, and not doing the things that I went into advertising to do, which was be a writer, be a copywriter, or a video producer, or whatever. Mostly, I wrote reports and did things that weren't fun, and I just wasn't. I realized I wasn't cut out for office work, and I needed to work for myself, and that was remarkably difficult in the beginning because I didn't know why it was so hard. But once I figured out why it was so hard and put some organizational skills into place and things like that, it all clicked. So let me give you now a few examples of working smarter. These are just real quick ones, but the things I'm going to show you today should save you, a bunch of time, and sign up for the mailing list, or if you're on the mailing list already, sign up for the course, buy the book, whatever. But let me share a few things. Okay, first, batch renaming files. This one's kind of cool. So I get folders full of usually pictures that are named image number 1, image 2, image 3, .jpeg, etc., etc. And that's no good later on if I'm trying to look for something, looking for something by file name when they're all named image 1, image 2, image 3. It's not good. So I like to rename them, but it's difficult to rename 50, 100, 200 files manually. So I used to own this program called a Better Finder Rename Utility, and it was $20. But it did exactly what I needed. It let me select a bunch of files and tell it how I wanted to rename them. And then I guess 2 operating systems back, maybe in El Capitan, Mac OS introduced a built-in solution that does kind of the same thing. It's not as comprehensive as some of the paid solutions, but it's good enough for most people most of the time when you have a folder full of files that you'd like to rename. And in fact, it's so easy to do on your Mac that I made a little movie that's in the ebook, and it's a 15-second movie, and you will understand how to rename files. Ready? Here it goes. And that's it. There is no step, whatever, 5 or 6. All right? So that's pretty cool. I'm going to do a little demo here. Let's get out of Keynote and hide it. And now we're going to do a little live demo of renaming some files. Here's a folder full of files. Oh, well, they haven't been unrenamed from last time, but you'll get the point. So pretend instead of being named Gator, they're named Image, right? I guess I should have prepped for this better. So here's how you do it, right? Step 1, select the files you want to rename. Yeah, I know, I'm covering the upper right of the slide. It's kind of it's a trade-off. If you want me still on screen, I guess I can, maybe next week we'll make me, oh, you know what? I could do a live adjustment. How about that? How about if I live adjust my size here? You guys let me know if this works, okay? So the picture-in-picture on the upper right, I am going to shrink to 320 wide. Is that better? I can move it up a little too, and over. How about that? Let's move it. What's that? Am I more out of the way now? Yeah? All right. Isn't this great having a TV studio right in my Mac? All right, now back to our regularly scheduled programming. So over here, to rename all these files, I select them first, I right-click, or control-click, and then I rename 33 items. Got it? And here comes the little windowed, and you have three choices: replace text, add text, or format text. So replace text is, I would replace Gator, which would be image, with big honkin' alligator. And click rename, and kaboom. So that's how easy it is to rename a whole folder full of goodies. Okay, now, here's what the other two look like before we move on. So rename all of them. Now here's the second. Add text is add text at the beginning or the end, before or after the name. So if I wanted to rename these Bob's Big Honkin', it would be Bob's, and then put it before the name. And then if you look right down there below, you can see Bob's, oops, it should be Bob's space. Bob's Big Honkin' Alligator #1. I don't know, that may be too small for you to see, but I could zoom in. Now, I wonder if you will see me zoom in if I zoom in. Is that zooming? No. That only zooms on my screen. Okay, so that's the second one. The third one is format. That's where you start from scratch and you give it a name and an index, the index being the number. So you can name it whatever you want. Big honkin' alligator. And start the numbers at any number you want, and you just click rename and they all get renamed. Boom. So that's how that works. And that is one of those things that it did work. Oh, cool. That's good to know. So here, I'll zoom in a little and show you again. Yeah, look at that. So that should be really big for you on screen, which is kind of cool. And that's what that dialogue looks like. And that's what those three things in the menu look like. I wonder if... yeah. That works for you. I can see that on the other screen. All right, cool. All right, let's go back to normal and close this out. And if you have any questions about renaming, type them in and I'll answer them in a second. Also, this is a bonus tip. Finder views. So when you've got a folder full of files, there's lots of ways you can look at them. And one of the things that I like to teach people to learn is the keyboard shortcuts for those views. So with a folder full of pictures, Command-1 to get you, there you go, to get you the icon view is usually very helpful because most images will display that little icon preview, and that way you can tell what exactly it is, so you can scroll through and look at your pictures. And if they're too small, there's a little slide control down here at the bottom that lets you make them pretty big. So you don't even have to open a program to browse all of your images, right? So that's nice. That's icon view. Now, the second view is list view. What's nice about list view is you can click on the top, the column headers up here, to sort by that item. So when you want to sort by what date this was added on your computer, the last time it was modified or edited, or the date it was created, or its size, you just click on the header and it sorts by that order. And then to reverse the sorting, you click it again. So, oops, click again. So that now is going from smallest to largest. Now it's largest to smallest. Works with alphabetical too, so this one is Big Honkin' 1 through, well, now, Big Honkin' 1 through 33, and if I click it again, it'll reverse 33 through 1. Really cool. So list view is really useful for managing the sort order and metadata, looking at things by their metadata. The third one is column view. Column view is really good when you're trying to move something from one folder to a couple of folders up in the hierarchy, and you want to be able to see everything. So if I were trying to move these into folders over here or into folders in my sidebar, this might be the right view for me. It allows you to see a lot of like what's nearby. So if I needed something from the website and art folder, it's just one click away. And then there's Command 4, which gives you this, I forget what they even call this. Oh, I know. The view nobody uses. All right. And no, it's actually got a name. It is called Cover Flow. Cover Flow. Nobody uses it, though. All right, let's go back to our slides. And where were we? Next slide. So you want to be a dictator. So here's another one. Used to be if you wanted to dictate, if you wanted to speak words and have them appear on your screen, you had to buy Dragon something or Max Speech something, or you had to pay money for something somewhere, somehow. All right, and again, a couple of operating system versions ago, I think it might have been Red Bull, Breakfast of Champions. It might have been El Capitan, but Apple introduced pretty passable dictation on the Mac for free. So here's the thing. This may not work. I did not try it again. I've tried everything else, and we haven't had any problem, but we are possibly going to crash the whole video serving mechanism because I'm going to give you a demo of speech. Okay? All right, we'll try it. Okay, so first you launch System Preferences. And now this is weird. There used to be a speech system preference pane, and it's now, this function is now in the keyboard system preference pane. So I guess it's because this is instead of typing, so keyboard system preference pane makes kind of sense. You go to the dictation tab here, all right? You know what? I'm gonna live dangerously, but I think maybe if I set this monitor to a little bit lower resolution, you guys will have an easier time with seeing this stuff. So how about if I go down to, I don't know, 1920 by 1080? Yeah, that should be good enough for you. I roll. Did that kill me? I don't think so. Let's see. All right. Nope, we came back, and as I hoped, that system, I sometimes call them control panels. That system preference pane is now much larger and easier to see without me having to zoom in and out and make you dizzy, which I won't do if I can avoid it. Okay, so I see that my picture is way out in the corner, and I suppose I could correct that, but for now I'll just do it this way because now I'm out of the way completely. All right, so here's how you do dictation. First, turn dictation on. Click the little radio button there. Use enhanced dictation. Enable this. Otherwise, you will not be able to dictate unless you have an internet connection. So this will download what you need. You need an internet connection when you enable the checkbox. But after that, you will be able to dictate without enabling, without an internet connection, which is a good thing. And now we're getting the beach ball. Oh, we're good. All right, and then you set shortcut to open or to turn it on and turn it off. And finally, you choose your microphone. I'm going to choose the microphone that I'm broadcasting through, which is the iRig Pro, which I think is a good idea since I'm kind of talking right into it. This should work pretty well. So then we've got that all done, right? I'm going to put that aside over here, and we're going to get us a text edit, a little word processing action here. Little low resource. See, I could open Microsoft Word, but it's a resource pig, and it would probably cause this whole thing to come to a screeching halt. But let's see if we can get this demo happening. All right, ready? Command, Option, Control D to enable. And there we go. This is a test, period. Uh-oh. This is a test, period. This is a test, period. Let's start again and see if it works this time. This is a test. This is a test. Ah! Yay. Okay, so here's the thing. It's doing all that so slow because I'm encoding video and broadcasting on the same Mac. Ordinarily, I can do this all day long. And you can see it's trying to type what I'm saying. Oh, this is kind of fun. So the point is, this usually works a lot better. I think the reason it's stuttering and having issues is that I'm encoding and broadcasting this in the background, and I think probably that's why it doesn't seem to respond in real time. It was actually doing it. It was translating, but that's kind of... I think that would be kind of painful if that's how it worked. But it works a lot better than that. I'm going to turn that off and we're going to move along. And you know what? I'm going to make a video so next time I can just show you a video. Because I think that is just too much processing. Oh, I see what happened. Okay. All right. Well, in that case, let's go back to the other size desktop. There's no reason for us to be all squished down like that. Moving along to the third working smarter technique. The second was dictation. The first was, what was the first? Oh yeah, renaming a batch of files all at once. And now, what's number 3? Number 3, snippet expansion, okay? So what is snippet expansion? Snippet expansion is, well, I'll just have to give you an example of it, because it's easier to show you than to tell you. So here's the thing: snippet expansions built into Mac OS 10. It's not very robust. Oops, I don't need that. Not very robust as built into Mac OS 10, but it is built in, and I'll show you how to use it in a minute. But let me show you how it works first. Let's make these characters pretty big so you can see them. Okay, so I'm going to type BLC. You see the little oh, look, I can zoom in there. Okay. So, but I can't tell. Can you see? Yeah, that's good. Okay, so right there, I've typed BLC, and when I press space, it converts it into, what it does is expands the snippet into my email address. How about this, BLM? That's my other email address. Oh, and my other email address, BWS, bob@workingsmarterformacusers.com. Speaking of workingsmarterformacusers.com, what about that long URL that I type 700 times a day? WSA, Working Smarter Address. Ha, that's really good. What are some other ones? Books. I have lots of books, and people, mention things in emails, and I have to type the name of a book, like iPhone for Dummies. Oops, iPhone for Dummies. iPad for Dummies. Sierra for Dummies, macOS High Sierra for Dummies, Office for Dummies, and WSM, Working Smarter for Mac Users. I also use it for what other things? Oh, today's date, today's time. Oh, and my favorite, no-win. So here's the deal with no-win. No-win, people, PR people send me emails all the time, and they are pitching Windows products to me. And I want to say to them, Dr. Mac is like my middle name. Why would you send me? So anyway, I got tired of typing it a lot, so I made this macro. And when I type no-win, here's what happens. No-win. I get a little pop-up from an app called Text Expander, which is what I'm using to do these things. I'm afraid I'm a Mac-only kind of guy, blah, 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 blah. Sincerely, warm personal regards, very sincerely yours. Plain regards. There were a couple of other options in there, but I took them out for this demo. But it lets you do things like that, so I could pick that, or where the X's are is where I would type in the name of whatever they told me about. and whatever they were trying to sell me. And I could make that a pop-up, except that it changes all the time. So I just put the X's there. But here I could say, you know, you're an idiot. This is the 9th time I've sent you this or whatever, and just pick it from a menu. And then when I click, it gets typed into the document that I'm using. So that's kind of cool, huh? Snippets. So you type something really small. You type 3 characters or 4 characters, and the Mac, well, the Mac or the program you're using, like Text Expander, does it for you. If you're doing it on the Mac, here's how. It's in the keyboard system preference pane in shortcuts. I'm sorry, it's not in shortcuts, it's in text. Shortcuts is where you do the keyboard shortcuts, but here is where you do it. So if you wanted to do my email address, blc, boblevitus@boblevitus.com. So replace blc with boblevitus@boblevitus.com. Now the problem with using Apple's free solution versus Text Expander is, as you can see, you only have a very, very small area to type in there. So that's all of the area you can see. So if you want to type something longer than boblevitus@boblevitus.com, you're not going to see it all at once. Also, if you want to do something that's multi-line, if you wanted to type something like your email signature and everything else, you might not want to do it in this little teeny one-line thing that you get for free. However, for your email address and a few other things, it is sure handy, and you know the price is right. So try that out, and if that works for you, check out Text Expander from Smile Software. Formerly Smile on my Mac, but I think they go by Smile now. Okay, next up, another tip. So here's the last, I think, tip for working smarter. Let's go back to our slideshow. And last tip here is the Pomodoro Technique. Okay, so what is the Pomodoro Technique? The Pomodoro Technique is a method of keeping yourself focused and being more productive than you would be ordinarily. And kind of the overarching theory is you set up a timer and work in 25-minute sprints. And the 25 minutes are dedicated to a single task and a single task alone. You don't multitask. You don't do mail. You don't look at Facebook. You just, whatever it is that needs doing, you do that and nothing else. 25 minutes straight. Then you stop and take a short break. Repeat as necessary, right? That's it. It sounds simple, and it is, but it's very effective, especially for people who tend to get distracted in the middle of writing something and go do something else. We call it falling down the rabbit hole. So one thing that's good if you have rabbit hole issues is to take next week, keep a pad with you at all times, and every time you go down a rabbit hole, make a note of what rabbit hole it was and how much time you wasted. And at the end of the week, look at it and, you know, do some thinking, because you don't really think about it, you just do it, and you'll be surprised at how much time you blow away just like chasing rabbits down the rabbit holes. I use an app called ZoneBox to do my timing, and it lets me set up 25-minute or other, like the stretch and drink a lot of water item in there, 10 minutes. That's my little break thing, and 25-minute work sessions, newsletter, chapter in a book, blog post, mail and news, email sequence for marketing, read books for 30 minutes. I try to read for 30 minutes a day. I'm good at that because I love to read. So, but I do put it on my calendar, and if I haven't read for 30 minutes by 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock, I'll stop my day and do some reading. It's important to have a plan, and it's important to stick to it. And people talk a lot about something called time management, which I think is a misnomer. I don't think there's anything. You can't manage time. Time is time. There's 1,440 minutes in a day, and they pass at the same rate as every day, but there's only 1,440 in a day, and what you can manage is how you use those minutes. And so I'm a big fan of having a plan and sticking to it, rather than having a to-do list and saying, I've got these 1,100 things that need doing. I'm big on having a plan and organizing your work for the day so that you know what the most important things are. So, for example, this is this is one of my giveaways. I give away a lot of stuff, but this is one of my favorites, and I use these every single day. In fact, check this out. Here's today's, right? Every day I fill one of those out, first thing in the morning or last thing in the night before I leave the office the night before. So you've seen that. I'm going to change slides so that you can see the download URL, because you should try this. This is really, I can't tell you how much more work gets done, I get done in a day by using this than before I did. So this is, and there's a couple other freebies there. There's some really cool, while I was researching the book, I collected a lot of motivational quotes about working and procrastination and things like that. And I had so many, I put them all on one page. You can download them all. And there's some on your SuperPlan worksheet also. And there's also a keyboard shortcut cheat sheet that you should print and tape to your monitor and get in the habit of using those keyboard shortcuts, because each one of those will save you hours. I'm telling you, over the long haul, if you don't use keyboard shortcuts, and especially for the things you do often, like cut, copy, and paste, and print, or whatever you do a lot, if it's got a keyboard shortcut, learn it, memorize it, use it, download the cheat sheet, and you'll never again forget. So moving along, that's it for the demos. There's so much more to working smarter, but I picked out a few things that I consider easy to implement and easy to demonstrate and free, at least mostly. So let's move along. It's time now for a little love. This is hard for me, and I'm always, first, I'm always humbled that people say stuff like this, but I'm always a little embarrassed to do this, but I feel it's necessary, because I'd love to tell you how great my stuff is, but it's way better if somebody else that paid for it tells you how great it is. So here's some love, okay? Check it out. This is my friend Jeff. He was a beta reader, and he said he didn't think that any book other than the Bible or the Book of Mormon will have a bigger impact on his life. Now, I was floored, and I happen to know who this person is. I've blurred his name to protect his identity, but I emailed him back and I said, "Are you kidding? Bible, Book of Mormon? Come on! I can't even show that to people because they'll think it was a joke." And he said, "I swear to you, it's not." And in fact, he wrote me again. How about this one? Guy Kawasaki. I don't know if you know who he is, but he's a very famous Mac evangelist. He was the first Apple evangelist in 1984, and I've known him since then. And he's written about 11 books. He writes about selling by evangelism. And in fact, when I worked for Power Computing, he was my role model. He's the guy that says you just do whatever it is that your customers need and worry about it later. And if you do that, everything else will work. And I believe that. I believe that. If I'm going to run this business, then I'm going to make you come first. I'm going to give away more than I sell, because this stuff is important, and I want everybody to have it. Now, I'd love for everybody to buy stuff also, but there's so much of it. It would be selfish for me to just hold on to it all. So Guy Kawasaki said my book inspired him, and his next book will be finished because he read Working Smarter for Mac Users. I gave a free course that was a little sliver of my big course that you can buy. It was 3 lessons, and I asked the people who took it to rate it, and they rated it 9.3, average of 9.35 out of a scale of 1 to 11. Why 11? 2 words: spinal tap. Okay, this is a person named Ron. He sent me, just from the website, he filled out the form, praise for something I did. He said he thought he was productive, but how much more productive he could have been and generated more revenue. Oh, that I would have written the book 40 years ago. Way to go, Bob. I mean, that just makes me feel so good, because really, the whole goal of the book and the course is to show you how to do more work in less time, so that you can, you know, either work more and make more money or have time for the things you love. I like to think of it as found time for things you love. If you can get all the work that needs doing done in a set amount of time, in a few hours, then the rest of the hours are for things you love. This other person, Michael, book buyer, called my book transformational, and he showed me how to prioritize, and my MIT idea has revolutionized his workday. And that MIT idea is so simple, but it's just, hey, isolate the most important tasks of your day, write them down, and make sure that you keep them somewhere where you can keep an eye on them all day long, and make sure that those get done first. Most important tasks, MIT's, really important. And one more. My course has already saved Maria. She was a beta tester of my new course, a lot of time, and improved her efficiency. And she is a power user. She runs a user group on the East Coast, and she probably knows as many tricks as I do. But she still told me that there was a ton of stuff that she didn't know or had forgotten, and that she really liked it. So I think that's it for love. Let's see what's next. Oh yeah, what's the catch? What's all this going to cost me? All right, let's go back to a full screen so I can see you and you can see me. All right. Hang on one second. There we go. Okay. And we'll turn off there we go, for now at least. So what's the catch? What's this going to cost me? Okay, I told you I like to give away most of my content for free. If you're in my email list, you've probably received a bunch of it already. There's a 5-lesson free video course in my email sequence. I do these weekly webinars. I give away the stuff on the freebie page, and you know, I'm going to add some more pretty soon, because that stuff's been there for a few months. But really, there's so much more to all of these things. Yeah. I give a lot of it away, and you know, if you took my free course, if you have been on my newsletter, you've gotten a lot of these tips already. But there's so much more in the book, and so much more detail, and so much more depth. And the same thing with the course. All of what I give away is the tip of the iceberg. It's like enough to get you thinking, enough to get you going, and if you don't want to spend any money, enough to get you more productive for free. However, if you really want to be an uber productive, raging thunder lizard of productivity, you need to read the book or take the course or both. And so let's switch back to the there we go. Ready? Here you go. Here's the deal. Where is it? Where's the deal? It's here. It's here. There it is. Okay, first, my online course, Working Smarter for Mac Users, Improve Your Efficiency. It's about 3 hours of instruction. The prices are $99, $149, $299. For $99, you get the course, 3 hours of video. You get the discussion forum with Q&A for each lesson, and downloadable PDF transcripts, which I find very useful because they have the links to everything in the lessons. Silver package includes all of that, plus 4 one-hour video chats. Live, in person, with me, with all of the other students that are in the silver tier at that time. If it's just you, it's just you. If it'll never be more than about 5 or 6, because I'm going to limit the number of students in the class at a time. And a lifetime membership to our private Facebook group. And then the gold package includes 12 office hours, 3 months of weekly video chats, plus a 1-hour private video coaching session with me, and an autographed copy of Working Smarter, the book, and a searchable archive containing every Dr. Mac column I've ever written since 1996. Now, that stuff is only available if you live in the United States. So don't sign up for a gold package if you live anywhere else. I'm working on how to ship stuff elsewhere, but for now I can't do it. And because I'm a solopreneur, I can't even farm it out to someone else yet. But I'm going to hire someone soon. Okay, so that's the course, starting at $99. But wait, there's more. The book starts at $19.99 and ends at $19.99. It's $19.99. It's an ebook. Comes in 3 flavors. EPUB, so that you can use it with iBooks. Mobi, so you can use it with Amazon stuff. And PDF, so that you can print it or read it on your screen if you want. Right. Ebook, starting at $19.99. Finally, private coaching. Personal coaching, consulting, starting at $150 an hour. I love to work one-on-one with people. We have very good tools now. And so you'll be able to... I'll be able to see your screen. I can work with you. I can watch what you do and make recommendations in real time as you do things. It's really great and usually very effective. But wait, there's more. With the exception of personal coaching, I offer 100% money-back guarantee on the things I sell. If I sell you a product, if I sell you a course or a book, and it doesn't help you, I want you to have your money back because I really am committed to making these things excellent. All I ask from people if they ask for a refund is to tell me why. If you tell me why, you get a refund. No questions asked. 14 days on either product. And I haven't had anybody ask for their money back yet. I'm sure someone will someday. But I feel very strongly that I can't sell something on the internet without offering a money-back guarantee. I mean, I know too many people that just won't take a chance, and I don't want somebody to not be able to do these things because they were afraid of fraud or rip-off or something, because I don't do that stuff. Hey, wait, there's more. So you get the money-back guarantee. You get the book, the course, the consulting, and everything else. And because you attended my webinar today, I have a special deal for you. I've never done this before. This is kind of fun. All right, so this is the close, as they say. As a token of my thanks, I am so happy you came to my webinar today. I'm going to give you a flat 25% off any or all of my products. And you can do this anytime until midnight Sunday. Just use the coupon code SAVETIME at checkout, and you'll get 25% off whatever you are buying. Oh, except the book, because I didn't create a coupon for the book yet. But I will in a minute. Wait, I have to make a note. Coupon for book. All right, so that's it right there. The code is SAVETIME. You get 25% off any of the packages. You can get 25% off any of the 3 tiers of video training course, the book, or personal consulting. Your call, your pick, 3 days. Oh, is it 3 days? No, till Sunday. All right. And last but not least, any questions? I'm looking at the, what do they call it? The chat roll thing. So if you have a question, now's the time. It's nice to see you all out there, all 2 of you and me. I'm 2 of me. Hey, there's 2 of me and 2 of you. That's something. All right, well, no questions. I got one more thing for you. Hold on. 2 more things. One more is reiterate the close, because they say you always have to tell them what you told them again, and when it's the close, 25% off, save time at checkout. Good until Sunday, September 10th, 2017. All right, and one more thing here. Are you ready? Here it comes. Looking at the of course, closing credits. It's very important. And that, ladies and gentlemen, oh, there, tech question. And YouTube Live for the video feed. Exactly. And and the reason the tech question is you are using chat roll for the discussion and YouTube Live for the video feed. The reason is I can embed the video feed from YouTube in my website, and that way I get to have you in my environment when you're watching this rather than watching it at YouTube. And so I promote it through my website. It works the same either way, but I would rather have you guys, at least familiar with. Yeah, isn't Squarespace awesome? But I would rather have you at least be familiar with my. Here, let me make myself full size while I'm talking to you. I can turn off these background things and bring me back full. There we go. So the question, yeah, absolutely. I'm going to do the same seminar every Thursday. I'm going to do it live for the time being. At some point, I think if I tape one and it's really, really good, I might try playing it back next week and seeing how that works. But I like doing it live, and it's kind of fun. I would want, if I did it canned, I would do the last 20 minutes live. If I did a really great presentation and captured it on video, I might do that. Yes, exactly. I embed the live Facebook feed URL that I get from share on the page where you'd watch it on YouTube, embed that on the site, and it automatically pulls it over. It took me a while to figure it out. And now here's the thing. In order to do this, I'm using a product called Mimo Live. And what it's doing is encoding the video and sending it to YouTube. And that's where these things are coming from. So when I do something like this, that's Mimo Live. I don't believe that Mimo Live has anything to do, though, with the ability to embed this on your Squarespace site. All you do is, it's the same as if it were a video. I think I have to go replace the URL every week. I think I have to get a new URL before each show each week. And I think, and we'll find out pretty soon, but I think this episode will sit there for the whole week now. Between now and September 14th when I do the next one, I think this recording will be there. And if you click the button, you'll see, the last episode. I don't know, though. We'll have to try it when we're done here. We'll find out, won't we? So yeah, thanks for coming. Both of you, I'm glad you like the credits, Root Boy. I might do some new stuff next time. I don't know. I'm thinking that dictation thing has to either become a video or be... I think I'm going to replace it with something more demoable. But, the idea is mostly this is the structure for the presentation. So I think, if you came back next Thursday, you'd probably tune out about halfway through and go, I've seen this already. All right, well, if nobody has any other questions, you already saw the closing credits. I could go back and play them again, but, it seems kind of anticlimactic. I just want to thank you all again for being here and remind you that you can get your discount by going to my website, to the buy page, workingsmarterformacusers.com/buy, and using the code SAVETIME, all lowercase. Coupon code SAVETIME. All right. That's all I got. Thanks for coming, and we'll be back next week with another show maybe or something. We'll be back next week with the same show probably. And there it is, the closing thing, the closing pitch. And we're out of here.